Welcome, Aries. This is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. And by the look of the cards, there's a lot that's going to happen now that has to do with what's coming up from the past. Let's dig in. First, I'm going to go over the astrology so that you know exactly when and how the energy is hitting. And then whatever time this message comes to you is the right time. It would be when it actually impacts your life. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Wow. And I create a new video every single week. So if you like this video, please be sure to show that you like the video and give it a thumbs up. As well, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so that you know as soon as I upload your favorite content. Aries content comes out every single Thursday at 9 a.m. Let me go over the astrology so that you kind of know the foundation of what's going on with the cards. It's a very good week. In fact, it's extremely productive for you. Mars is trine to Saturn. So there is a solid and certainty, a solidity in you, a confidence about consistency in you. But more so, anybody who is executive to you, a leader or some sort of boss, or any kind of authority, even if you work for yourself, any kind of, official that you have to deal with, it's going to go really well with them this week. This is a nice week for you to be able to actually get things done. But let me tell you the challenges that are coming up. Basically around the new moon that's happening this weekend. Things start to shift for you to be more challenging. Now, challenges offer you opportunities to level up. Right? So I don't want you to think, oh, this is a red flag, this is a warning. This is a challenge. It is definitely time for learning. Now, what are the conduits for learning? It's a square to Neptune, and then at the very end of the week, it's going to be a square to Mercury. So by the end of this week, you're going to have Mars is going to be squared to Neptune and Mercury. And what is that about? It's about knowledge, information, or comments that are coming up regarding the past or feeling bad about the past. Maybe even feeling guilty about the past, and conversations that you may have with somebody who either is feeling guilty about what they did to you or you're feeling guilty about an entire situation. So guilt may come up. Another thing that happens when Mars squares Neptune is that there can be this uptick and opening in creativity, but ultimately there's also a sense of getting lost in it and getting easily distracted or being easily convinced of things. So I warned Scorpio about this too, because Mars absolutely impacts them. In fact, I will attach a link here so that you guys can maybe watch the Scorpio video. But there is definitely a little bit of a warning in that stuff that's coming up from the past. People may be throwing shit up to you, throwing shit up to your face, using your guilt against you, essentially, in order to kind of back you into a corner or to persuade you into something that logically doesn't make much sense. But since Mercury is in retrograde and it has such an impact on the way that we're communicating and thinking and our logical systems right now, honestly, you may get a sense of, you may get distracted by something that isn't as important as it's making itself out to be, by playing on your sympathy strings, as well as by bombarding you with a lot of information from the past. And it's, I don't know, we've all been into these situations where the person sitting across from you doesn't know how to argue their point because they're wrong and they don't have much of a point. So all they do is start bringing up all this stuff from the past to work on your emotions to kind of distract you from the main point. So those could be situations that you easily get into this week, just an FYI. Now, let's look at this, because as the cards are coming out, we see that there's a lot that's happened in the past. And that makes sense during a Mercury retrograde. It also makes sense during a square to Neptune. Absolutely makes sense. And since this new moon is happening in Libra, it is in direct opposition to your first house, but it is in your seventh house. So it could have a lot to do with partnerships, old partners you had, old partners that are trying to get away with a bunch of old shit, or trying to figure out how to make you feel sorry and make you apologize for stuff that they actually caused. So I just want you to be extremely aware of what's going on. Even in some ways, people trying to convince you maybe to start new with them and start over with them because, oh, look, it wasn't as bad, or I did say sorry, I did apologize, remember that you did all this stuff too. That's manipulative shit, and I want you to just sort of drop them. And I warned you last week, I know I did, don't get back with that ex. Don't get back with that ex. So there does seem to be some confrontation of those temptations. But let's get into the reading. Lots of freaking cards. So a lot of shit has happened. Have you booped that like button yet? Please give it a thumbs up. Also, what I love from you guys, since, you know, I'm sitting here across the table from you, you're in my shop for a reading, but I can't necessarily hear your voice. So be sure to comment below and let me know how this is impacting you and what you're thinking as I'm saying these things. I would love for you to share your comments with me. We have be at home, which is staying close to home or staying in a comfort zone. This is also a sense of this and that are true is coming out, which is trying to see things from a different perspective or things from another point of view. Maybe because you are in a comfort zone. This could be about visiting home, talking to old friends, revisiting old places, you know, whatever. This happened just a little while ago, not so long ago. Tend to the small things. I feel like you went somewhere, maybe returned home or wherever you consider home, because you had to take care of something. Maybe it had to do with sickness. Maybe it had to do with personal troubles or personal issues. There was something going on that you had to tend to, and it was very detailed and very precious and kind of tender, I would say, and maybe a lot of things were coming at you at this point. Be fearless and bold. This is you showing up in your own reading, which is you took charge, you went ahead and did it. You have a lot of honor and a lot of integrity with how you execute things, and you have very traditional value systems usually, because your second house, after all, is Taurus. This is how you just get things done and make your way in the world, is through traditional value systems. And so I think that you thought, listen, I'm going to take care of this because this is my value system. And based on my value systems, I'm going to, give. I'm going to do everything that I can to help the situation out. We have bring a gentle touch, which means you were tender, you were gentle, you were patient. This is also Virgo energy, which means you were dedicated and you were willing to do sort of like the hands-on work day to day. And then we have trust in the magic, which is basically you're working all of this because you want things to clear out. You want things to start new. You don't want them to be old. You had faith that things could go better, right? That things could actually, if not turn right, then clear out and make room for a fresh start. That's basically what this is. You were working toward and really had a lot of faith in a fresh start. Lay a solid foundation is here, which means, I apologize. I've been having some major neck issues, guys. So if I do that during the reading, you know why. It's pain. Lay a solid foundation is more Virgo energy. Virgo energy, this is more about actually building, actually doing the hard work. Now, this could be a new job, just something you've committed yourself long term to. You don't expect anything like that. You just want the consistency of it, or you want to create the consistency. So you were creating consistency and healing. That's what you were doing. You have committed yourself to something, maybe not full-time, but regularly. You have committed yourself to something regularly to heal. There's a healing here. And it's saying, and as soon as I saw this card, I was like, holistic, something holistic. So commit yourself to something holistic. Now, holistic doesn't mean shamanic or spiritual healing. Holistic just means doctors that specialize in looking at your whole body as a whole, as an entirety. They don't just treat symptoms like traditional medical people do. They usually have their medicine, their degree in medicine. They actually they are a doctor of medicine, but they decided to focus on how all systems impact one another instead of just treating symptoms in general. So take the lead. That's what I saw. As soon as I saw this card, there's a holistic approach to healing something that was causing you a lot of stress, pain, suffering, or there was some sort of toxicity going on here. Now, that could be actually physical, 100%, especially in this climate right now. It could be physical. Chiron is very, very supercharged this week, so that is about sometimes physical injury that you have to deal with. But it also can be it could be not physical, but mental or emotional or psychological, or just helping your family to get back on its feet after a specific upset or something happened. And then we have, oh shit, this is good. This is really good. The miracles are endless. So this is about having all of that stuff really work out, really present itself as, wow, I came through. I presented a lot of resources. I have a lot of resources. There are a lot of resources in front of me. You've actually starting to experience a little bit now in some sort of almost like authority in what to do in these situations. I know that sounds a little weird, but that's kind of what it is. And that's giving you a strength of personality, a strength of character. It's also saying that there are resources now that may not have been available to you before. This has been a long line of committed hard work and dedication that's led to actual resources. Okay, hold on. It's like the paycheck finally comes in the mail. I love it. So I want to know, so this is a lot of stress, a lot of strain. The miracles are endless because of your hard work, but it also means that you have even more hard work. I think you're going to be shocked. I think you're going to be shocked. What are these miracles, please? Because you've got the... Okay, so something's going to happen. Something happened. Either something's going to happen or something happened. This could be injury from taking on too much. This could be strain from taking on too much. If you do manual labor, watch yourself this week really carefully. Don't push yourself, because that will be something happens all of a sudden. It could cause a great deal of injury. And I don't understand what this is for, but it could have been some sort of workman's compensation that came in, or some sort of a lawsuit that happened. Maybe it's something that's not happening to you, but that you are dealing with. That could be it too. But I just, I'm asking Spirit, I'm like, what's going on? The miracles are endless, but the miracles are endless how? Because there was some sort of injury or accident from overworking yourself. So that is still sort of a mystery to me. Why are the miracles endless? From what? I'm trying to figure it out, because it gives you a lot of options. There's a lot of options that you had in front of you that you didn't have before, but there is still kind of delusional. You may think that you are, and this could be that Neptunian effect on Mars, right? You may think that what you're doing is going to get you a lot more than it actually is. There's a small part of delusion here, like being distracted by all the superfluous things when there's something in the background that is valuable that is not being paid attention to. Okay, go a little bit deeper into this, please. Of course, this could also be a message, and I think this is a message for some of you. Before you break something, you better start looking into other options, because you have been doing way too much work and carrying way too much responsibility on your shoulders, Aries. And ultimately, what you have to start doing is looking for options and alternatives, because you don't want to get yourself into the situation where you are breaking your back, legitimately, hopefully not literally, breaking your back, or all of a sudden something catastrophic happens and you thought you had more options than you did, or everything gets really confusing. How are we, what is this? Let's get a moon card. I want to get a moon card because we do have a new moon coming out. Aries. What does Aries need to know? Believe in the impossible. The end of a tough, okay, all right. The end of a tough cycle approaches. So this is opportunity coming after you worked really hard, maybe even at a breakneck pace. So there could have been something, even education. You could have been working and going to school. In other words, you took a lot of extra stress on yourself. And that's closing out. That's ending. And it may not be for a bad reason. There are opportunities that are opening for you. Believe in the impossible. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Believe in the impossible is, you might have forgotten to hope. You might have forgotten to wish. You might have just left that behind you. You could have stopped aspiring. The point is, you got so lost in the work itself, I think you lost sight of how productive it was actually being, or becoming. And the end of a tough cycle approaches. This is Capricornian energy. This could have to do with a boss or with your job, with your work, something that you are building out. It's like you have busted your balls full swing. And now, Aries, you're finally getting a little bit of relief. There's a little bit of lightening that load this week. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Why? How is this ending coming? Partnership. No. How is the end of a tough cycle coming? It's almost like you're going to be celebrated and be defensive about it. It's almost like you're not going to believe this is like too good to be true at first. So definitely there could be that air of suspicion because look at the astrology, right? Like there could be that air of suspicion regarding opportunities that are coming up to you, like, oh, is this really a letter from this person? Am I really getting this email from this company? This sense of, at first, you're going to be very, like, you're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe it because you have busted your balls for so long and nothing had come through. But there is definitely something to celebrate that is going to be happening to you, and it could be through a get-together. It could be through being social. I don't know if you guys have been invited anywhere this week. It's not something like athletic. It's not something like you're in a wrestling match. It would be going to a party. It would be going to a get together. It would be celebrating a wedding. It would be going to a concert. It's almost like in some ways, it's not a place that you would expect an opportunity was going to break for you, but it is. But it is. This is also acceptance. Having your passions validated. Having all your hard work and all the ways that you suffered, which is what the Nine of Wands is about. How much you've suffered. These are your battle scars. So it's almost like you're getting rewarded for them. You're getting rewarded for all your battle scars and for not giving up. Damn. And then we have, oh, stop. 8 and the sun, moon, and stars. Sun, moon, and stars means cosmic alignment. So the stars have a lot to do with what's going on. Now, 8 is a manifestation. It's like doubling down on manifestation into reality. Like take 4, which is the number of reality, and like matter, like solid matter, like the realm of the real, right? 8 is doubling down on that. So this is definitely some sort of achievement that has now come together in full synchronicity for you. Sun, moon, and stars. Let me see if I can get an exact. When the sun and the moon conjunct, this is the new moon. This is the new moon, when something is all coming together. What have you guys got planned this weekend? You don't have to answer the question, though feel free to answer if you want, but what have you guys got planned this weekend? Because there's some sort of synchronicity that's happening. What is this, October 8th? Hold on. This weekend, October 8th is Saturday. Saturday into Sunday. That's 8. This is the new moon. No. This is the full moon. October 8th is the full moon. And it's in the future too. There's something that's happening on that full moon. What is it? I want you to answer me and the cards. I want you to answer me in the comments below. And guys, be sure that you're subscribed to this channel and know that I always create an extended reading. So that's where we're going to go to now. If you'd like to join me for it, please do click that link below. I will put it in the top of the comment section as well as the description box below. You also have the option to join the Unbound membership to this channel, and then you get unlimited access to all the other videos nobody else gets to see, including every single extended reading that I create. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the extended.